Rosecrans Memorial Airport is hosting the first ever Sound of Speed warbird fly-in this weekend. The show bringing in many from around the area to view World War II era aircraft. KQ2's Chris Roush has more.
For the first time ever, the Sound of Speed Air Show holding a warbird fly-in at Rosecrans Memorial Airport. The event featuring several different World War II era aircraft, such as the B-17 Flying Fortress and a B-29 Super Fortress.
I believe this airplane rolled off the assembly line in early 1945 as the war was coming to a conclusion, so it never saw combat.
This B-29 had to go through a restoration process for many years, and is one of two that currently flies. The rare aircraft drawing emotions from many that are able to see the large plane, from children to veterans.
I was part of a flight where we had a World War II era Central Fire Control officer and a Korean War era flight engineer on board. They were on the same ride flight, and the Korean era engineer was watching our guy like a hawk, and evaluating just how good he was at his job. And the World War II fellow was in the seat for the first time since the end of the conflict. So it was a very emotional experience for both of them and an honor for us to be able to be a part of that.
The event also bringing in the families of veterans that served on the historic aircrafts during World War II.
My uncle, who was part of a B-17 crew in World War II and was shot down in February of '44 and remained a prisoner for over 500 days. He was only one of two survivors. It was quite an emotional experience to be able to go through a B-17 and try to think about what he must have experienced.
Gary Barneson's uncle was a top turret gunner during World War II, and Saturday he got the chance to walk through the same type of aircraft his uncle served on.
It was hard to imagine that there were 10 men on a plane that looks so huge outside but is so small inside.
While this is not a performing air show, the purpose of the event is to educate while also honoring those who serve.
Our mission is to honor the veterans that flew these airplanes and educate people on the way things were and the way things can be again if history is not passed down through the generations. It has a way of repeating itself.
Just a part of history. It's amazing to think what these guys went through at such a young age to fight for their country, give us the liberties we have today.
Chris Roush, KQ2 News.
The Sound of Speed warbird flying continues tomorrow. Gates are open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.